Hey everybody, Pepper Coyote here with a new kind of hat. Do you think bucket hats work on me? I used to wear them when I was a lot younger, and it also allows me I can go incognito whenever I don't want you to see what I'm thinking. I'm a samurai warrior. Do you guys know about Aggretsuko yet? I'm not going to spoil anything from season 2, I know that just came out, but I am going to spoil pretty much all of season 1 in this episode, so spoiler alert, haven't had to do one of those yet. What I mean is anybody watching this channel not furry enough to know about Aggretsuko at this point? I mean, Ben Diskinen, the voice of the hyena character everybody loves, Haida, he's going to be at Anthrocon in 3 days. How long did it take us to make this? What? Aggretsuko is a show about a Japanese office worker named Retsuko. She's worked as an accountant at the same company for 5 years when the show starts. Her boss treats her like crap, her coworkers, while occasionally friendly, could care less, and to deal with the stress, Retsuko likes to go to the karaoke and sing scream metal songs. That's kind of the gimmick of the show. You have this physically small, studious woman who checks every box and dots every T and crosses every I, is the very definition of mild-mannered, but hey, at nighttime, ooh boy, she likes loud, aggressive music. Heck, the name of the show is a combo of the words aggressive and her name, Retsuko. So you watch the first episode and you're like, heck yeah, this is going to be a show where the beat-down office worker, through art, develops the confidence and nerve necessary to shake up the bad stuff going on in her workplace. She's going to frickin' get up on a desk and metal scream in that pig's face. Awesome, I'm down for this. And now, a moment for metal. Yes, metal. That most misunderstood of genres. The kind of music everybody is down to join a band to play, yet is so commercially disappointing. Could it be your abrasive vocal style? Could it be the complexity of your guitar lines and rhythmic structures? Could it be that metal is just difficult to market to mainstream audiences since it doesn't fit well into the top 40 clear channel controlled radio formats and is already unpopular with the 60-year-old white dudes that pick what music you get to listen to on the radio? The world may never know. I believe in music's ability to change people's minds, or at the very least, shift their perspective when it comes to what is normal and acceptable in society. Music has been shaking up conservative status quo since the beginning of music. I mean, why else did I want to wear these in public? That's right, because I heard a couple of System of a Down albums. All right, Retsuko, let's get ready to F the system. Please don't punish me, YouTube. The plot gets going when Retsuko's hippie friend asks her to join in on a business venture. Retsuko is very much interested and starts making plans to quit her job, a massive move for someone as timid as Retsuko. She's so comfortable in her routine that changing it terrifies her, even though it sucks. This is mostly due to social pressure. See, even though her boss is a jerk, it doesn't appear to value her time or the work she does, and is blatantly sexist, she doesn't want to disappoint. She's been trained to be a good girl and keep her nose to the grindstone and all that other crap. I hope you can hear my air quotes. To Retsuko, not living up to society's expectations of her is almost unbearable. So, whoopsie. Turns out that other job Retsuko was going to quit her current job for isn't really a job that could pay her rent. Why someone we're told is extremely studious and thorough wouldn't figure that out before writing up a letter of resignation is beyond me. The friend was vague, I get it, but Retsuko's known her for years. Seems like she would have gotten some specifics before getting her hopes up. The bummer here is that pretty much as soon as our red panda friend starts standing up for herself, particularly by telling off this snake lady, she's immediately punished. The second she tries to disrupt the natural order of coworkers with seniority abusing the underlings, she's smacked down. But I'm not worried. We're early in the season and our character needs some hardships to overcome. I get it. Next plot point. Now we're on episode 4, and since this whole new job thing isn't going to work out, Retsuko decides to become a gold digger. Seriously, that's what she decides to do. She can't get out of this nightmare office job by quitting, so instead she's going to try to marry a rich guy and just coast. You can tell that she's taking this route as a last resort, but the quest to become appealing to a rich man lands her in a yoga class. This is where she meets two of her much higher level co-workers, Gori and Washimi, my favorite characters in the show. No, there isn't a significance to that statement. I'm not going to meander into a rant about why they're the best or anything. I just want you to know I love them. They're the most fun characters in the show. Gori and Washimi end up in karaoke with Retsuko, and through some protein magic, they end up finding out about Retsuko's penchant for singing metal. They also learn how poorly she's being treated by her boss, whose name is Ton, by the way. I don't think I've mentioned that yet. So, here we go. Washimi is going to talk to the higher-ups about Ton and hopefully help Retsuko out. Oop, big shocker to anybody who's had an office job, but reporting her boss kind of makes things worse, especially once Ton figures out who reported him. We've now had Red Panda Justice Warrior over here try and have a good life by following all the rules. Nope. By trying to leave the job that tortures her. Nope. And by trying to fight her poor treatment through the channels her job wants her to use, and still, nope. The show has been systematically eliminating all of the outlets Retsuko has to improve the job that she feels forced into by society's expectations. She went to the school to get the diploma, to get the job, to work the hours, to get the money, to pay for the classes, to improve herself, and get the husband, and nothing has helped. It is clearly time for Metal Breakdown. It happens! In episode 7 of a 10-episode series, we do get the beaten down employee unloading on her boss, and it's pretty cool. Too bad the show takes the whole moment back. So here's the reason I woke up today and started writing this script. I finished season 2 yesterday, and I realized I could talk about my biggest issues with the show without spoiling a bit of it, because it's all present in season 1 as well. The show markets itself as counterculture, as rebellion, as here's this beat-down office worker. Watch her overcome the system through the power of rock. And what we get is a story where at the end of the day, even though she's talked down to, made to do the work of lazy coworkers with seniority, forced to be her boss's personal tea maker, and made to work likely unpaid overtime, all this is fine because the boss is a good guy deep down, and he had to go through it too, so now it's just him putting you through the same nonsense and it's justified. The hazing and BS is all warranted because that's just the way it is. That's the way it's always been and how it will always be. Your only choice is to make like a cog and help the system run. If you're a big enough D-bag, maybe even you could be a Ton someday. Maybe you can be a manipulative, abusive, lazy jerk. I mean, heck, the show goes out of its way to redeem Ton multiple times, making sure you know he isn't always heartless. And heck, he also happens to be the best accountant on the floor, even though he only appears to work 1 day a year. Nobody brings up that, hey, maybe if he did a little bit of work every day, he wouldn't be keeping his junior employees after hours or doing this ridiculous crunch thing that everyone in the office seems to think is perfectly acceptable. All right, everybody, you got to work 100 hours this week. This is totally okay and good for the employees. No worker abuse here. In between all this, Retsuko starts dating and even meets a guy she likes. Too bad he can only communicate through his phone. And it's kind of coded that this guy is like on the high-functioning end of the autism spectrum. Take that from me, a guy on the high-functioning end of the autism spectrum. She tries to ignore her problems by throwing herself into this relationship, which I guess is yet another indirect way to try and cope with a world that doesn't seem to care about you. Eventually, Ton, of all people, gives her the pep talk she needs to hear, and she ends her relationship with the phone guy, and the show ends with Ton calling her stupid for no reason. If your job treats you like dirt, so in other words, if you have a working class job and a boss, don't feel like you're in this alone. With a little bit of worker unity, change can happen. You are not the only one experiencing what you're experiencing. Retsuko's co-workers, at least the ones that are nice to her, could be a lot more than just a shoulder to cry on. They could make a little worker group and hold meetings and talk about ways that their conditions could be improved, get some collective bargaining going on. If your job has a union, join it. If it doesn't, try to make one. Your bosses need you so much more than you need them, and the only weapon you have against them is numbers. I'm not nearly as good at making up metal riffs as I am playing regular acoustic guitar. Here we go. Justin Williams dribbling the sun. Cheesy feline player, Mexican wolf, musical husky. Blue gray fox. Now let me scroll to the next bit of names here. There we go. Zombie squirrel, Grace Jane Gollinger, Omega Icona. Oh, I hate the English alphabet. Omega Dragon, Tyro Thunderdome, Coyote Gun, Apollo, Omega Wolf, Pony Shark, Eddie, say Angus L. Angus L. Unknown Fury. Monty Condretti, Ruth, Ruby Red I have to scroll again. I was kind of stalling there, hoping the computer would just figure. AKA Leonardo Lynx. The Dragon Show! Silver Gatomon, Mama T! And let's not forget the most important, James A. Cumberland Benson and Dan Pankrat. All right, there you go.